Welcome to the video that is going to explain the final project. The file below this will be a PDF that you can download and print, or you could fill it out electronically, and you basically are going to make a giant action plan to implement your AppSec goals. Please open up the goal assignment from the beginning of this course, where you set the goals for your potential or your real AppSec program. We have learned quite a bit since then. Keep in mind, when you write your final updated goals below, you can add anything you want to them. You've been given a space in this assignment to write 3 goals, but please feel free to print this out and write as many goals as you want, or keep this document so you can keep setting goals and knocking them out of the park for your program. So let's start with what you need to write for each goal. So first we need the specifics. So the first question in the assignment will be, who will be involved in this goal? Who on your team, other teams, whose buy-in do you need or approval, whose time ends up being a part of it? So we have a list of different teams, and you can add other people if you want, and just put checklists, a big checkbox next to whoever it is that you are going to need buy-in from. A lot of places where I've worked, especially when I was less experienced, I would forget, oh yeah, I guess we're going to need time from the quality assurance team. That needs to go into their schedule or their work plan somewhere. If we try to just throw a bunch of security things on top of a regular project, delays happen and resentment. I remember working somewhere once and the director decided suddenly that security mattered. And so they threw 2 secure coding activities, basically a secure code review, and then 2 pen tests on top of all the other things happening in this giant project. No time scheduled for it. And they just threw it at the devs, and the devs did not receive it in a nice way. But if it is scheduled and you have their buy-in and you've asked in advance, it's completely different reception. The next question is, what are you trying to accomplish? This is where you can write a short paragraph, a few sentences about exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Be extremely specific in this answer. Question 3 is, which applications, networks, and systems does this goal apply to? Because sometimes you're actually just doing the mobile apps or you're just doing the web apps. Be very, very specific about what this goal applies to. After that, we need to talk about when. I want timelines. I want you to say, I think I can accomplish this goal within 6 months. And then here's the breakdown of approximately how I think I'll do this and that. So when do you aim to achieve this goal? And if there's a list of steps, I want you to list out all the steps. Number 5 is a surprisingly difficult to answer question, even though it seems really obvious, but why did you choose this goal? What value do you think it's going to bring to your organization? Because this is something you are definitely going to need to answer for your boss, for your boss's boss. Anyone that is going to be paying money is going to want to know why this goal and what value does it bring. Number 6 is a bit different. It says, how will you measure this goal? Remember, in level 2 of this program, we talked about how you can measure your progress towards your goals and how you make sure that you are on the right track using metrics and data. So which tools are you going to use to gather this data? Which data are you going to gather? How can you tell if you have fully achieved your goal? So we have a list of things that you can use to measure, but we also want to hear what you're going to be measuring. So which data are you collecting and why? Number 7 is about resources. So do you need budget? Do you need another person on your team? Are you going to need to buy some tools? Are you going to need approvals or access or time from other people's teams? Make a list of every single thing that you need to get your goal completed. Sometimes I know things come up that you aren't aware of, but every single thing that you know in advance is much more likely you will get a yes. So number 8 is a hard one again. Are you being realistic? Is the cost of this goal going to provide significantly more value to the organization? Management will really want to know the answer to this question. They're going to want to know, is there a return on investment? It's pretty important. Number 9 is what application security activities will help you achieve this goal. So then I list out all the different ones that we covered in level 1. And then number 10 is what are the tools that you are going to need to help you achieve this goal. So again, we're going to have this big list of a whole bunch of different tools, and feel free to add some if I've missed any. The next thing that you want to do is figure out which policy standards and guidelines that this goal supports, and or if you need some. Perhaps you need to write another standard or another guideline or even a policy to support the goal that you have in mind. Write them down on number 11. Number 12, do you need to adjust or add to your incident response process for this new goal? Or do you need to inform the incident response team about anything that you are changing? It's really important that if anything applies to what they do or might trigger an incident, you definitely let them know, because we don't want to waste anyone's time or, accidentally trigger a real life security incident. It's not a good way to make friends. Number 13 will be about which scaling tactics will you use. So remember, from AppSec Foundations Level 2, we talked about scaling, and there's coaching, there's delegation, there's automation, and there's security champions. There are more ways to scale, and if you have more, add them here. But basically, if you need to do some scaling in order to achieve this goal, put it here. And if you have some ideas in mind that are outside the scope of this course, add them. You definitely want to detail this. Number 14 is, will you need to educate developers or other staff in order to achieve this goal? And if so, how do you plan to do this? You might want to go back to the second level of this course or program in order to make sure that you have all the details you want. But once you have all of that written down, you have a really good handle on your goal and how you're going to achieve it and all the things you need in order to achieve it and when. Please fill this out for as many goals as you have. Please keep this document indefinitely, because let's say in 6 months from now, you've knocked those 3 goals out of the park and your boss says, what next? Go right back to this and set another goal. I want this to be a tool that you can use indefinitely to help you make your program better and better and better. And with that, I'm going to wish you good luck on this assignment. I know you can do it.